If it's only relaxing, but it's not restoring, it might be a treat, but it's not real self-care. So, is what you're calling self-care actually helping you, or just helping you get through the day? Self-care is another one of those trendy buzzwords we see all over social media, in the headlines of magazine articles, and hear all of the self-help gurus talking about. If you're not doing it already, you might be wondering what all the hype is about. You might be thinking that you're getting a pedicure a few times a year, you're eating your veggies, so you're practicing self-care. Or maybe you're one of those people who believes that self-care is selfish. Well, this week, I want to explore what self-care really is and what it's not. And you might be in for a few surprises. And how coping is not the same thing. Let's dig into that. You know how life throws us curveballs? I believe in the incredible human capacity to heal and grow from life's challenges. We all face adversity in life, whether it's dealing with loss, overcoming personal challenge, or navigating mental wellness. Nobody gets through this journey of life without a few storms. Welcome to Transformative Journeys. I'm your host, Johanna, and through various challenges on my journey, including the devastating loss of my son in a workplace tragedy in 2006, I have navigated a messy path towards healing and rebuilding. It's been a journey of self-discovery that has taught me invaluable lessons about coping, healing, and transforming my experiences into tools for personal growth. Each week, I'll share my thoughts and insights and dig into strategies that can empower you to rediscover yourself, learn about transforming pain into power, building confidence to navigate life's challenges, and cultivating a life of meaning and joy. Join me on this journey of exploration and transformation. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your favorite platform and tap the bell icon to be notified when new episodes drop. Welcome back to Transformative Journeys with Johanna. And yep, still Johanna here. Today, I thought I'd talk about something that's everywhere right now. It's all over TikTok, Instagram, magazine articles, all over the media, social and otherwise. And it's self-care. Buzzword? Just a bit. Overused? Yep. Misunderstood? I really think it is. This week, I want to unpack the difference between coping and self-care. And I've done both. And I've done them really well sometimes and done an absolute shit job of it others. So I'll try to share what I know about the distinction between the two and hopefully help you understand how knowing the difference can actually help you build real resilience and improve your life in meaningful ways. Coping and self-care are both important pieces of healing and building resilience, but they don't mean the same thing, and they're not interchangeable. So what is self-care really? Isn't it just doing something nice for yourself now and then? Or is there more to it than that? Today I'm going to break down the difference, the myths, the reality, and how you can put together a personalized and, more importantly, sustainable balance of both. So let's start with what self-care is not. Self-care in and of itself isn't pedicures, manicures, moisturizing face masks, and fuzzy socks. It's not a glass of wine or a big piece of chocolate after a long or crummy day. But trust me, no judgment here. I've done both in my time, and chocolate is one of my deepest, closest friends sometimes. It's definitely not something that you have to earn after you have met everyone else's needs, and it sure as hell isn't selfish. In fact, if you want the truth, real self-care is often kind of boring. And honestly, this is where I got stuck. Let's talk about what the Instagram posts don't usually tell you. Sometimes self-care is doing the dishes when you'd rather binge Netflix because you know waking up to them in the morning is going to stress you out. It can be putting your phone down at 9 p.m. because you know from all the self-care articles that you've read, of course, that shutting down screen time an hour before bed leads to better sleep, so your tomorrow self isn't running on fumes and black coffee or energy drinks at 3 p.m. to get through the rest of the day. Guilty as charged. It might be saying no to something that will either drain you or stress you out, even if it will disappoint somebody else. And it might be turning off all the electronics in your house half an hour before bed and soaking in a warm bath or curling up with a book in your bed to wind down. I do have some good news for you though. Not all self-care has to be boring. It just has to be proactive. So now you might be thinking, what the hell does she mean by that? Well, it's the intentional actions that you take to support your mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical well-being. The habits and actions that help you stay more resilient. So you don't need to resort to coping skills as often. Kind of like a little preventative maintenance for your soul. Just like you brush your teeth to prevent them from, rotting out of your head, self-care is like brushing your body, mind, and spirit. Am I saying that those mani-pedi appointments or that 15-minute facial you squeeze in after the kids are in bed or even that glass of wine with your bestie aren't self-care? For sure, I'm not. But those are like occasionally putting premium fuel in your tank, not regular preventative maintenance on your engine. What I am saying is that self-care doesn't have to be glamorous or cost money. Sometimes it's setting boundaries. Sometimes it's asking for help. Sometimes it's choosing to do something that your future self will thank you for, like saying no. Whether it's to your sister-in-law about hosting your niece's baby shower, buying the cookies for the bake sale instead of sending homemade, or reaching for the bag of salad instead of the bag of Doritos. Again, guilty as charged. So let's switch gears and talk about coping. Coping is a whole different animal. It's reactive, and it's what we do to get through a tough moment or a tough situation. And I'll be frank, without my coping strategies when life throws me curveballs, I would be a ticking time bomb sometimes. My coping skills and tools help me keep my shit together most of the time when things feel like they are in chaos. But here's another important thing to understand. Coping isn't the same as healing. It doesn't really do much to build us up or to help us move forward. It just helps us get through the shitstorms. And while we're being honest with ourselves here, sometimes our go-to coping tools aren't really so helpful. That one glass of wine I thought I needed to help me fall asleep every night for the first year after my son died, I might have told myself that it helped me cope, but it did nothing to help me heal. And it did nothing to help me build resilience. It was really just avoidance in a pretty glass. So you will find zero judgment here, just encouragement to start to get curious. Is your favorite coping strategy helping you move forward or just helping you keep from teetering off the edge? Coping in any form, quote good or quote bad, is sort of like emotional first aid. Self-care helps to build up your emotional immune system. Here's the thing though, we do need both. We need positive coping strategies to help us get up when a storm blows us off course. And we need self-care to help us stay more steady when the storm comes in. The problems come up when we are only coping, when we are continuously stuck in survival mode, grasping coping tool after coping tool, hoping that the next one will work. Because let me tell you, my friends, that is exhausting, and that is a recipe for burnout and mental health struggles. And I believe that you, just like me, deserve better than just getting through your days. You are worthy of so much more than that, of feeling nourished and supported and of feeling peace, which is what a balance of self-care and coping strategies that work for you can offer. But I don't want to be just another one of those self-help people. I'm definitely not an expert, just a lifelong learner myself who talks in circles without leaving you with actionable, real-life tools, because I really do know how it feels to want help and totally feel overwhelmed about what to actually do. So here are a few ideas to hopefully get you started moving forward from feeling like you're just coping to actually building some real self-care into your life. First of all, check in with yourself daily. Maybe that's starting a journal or writing a few lines every day and asking yourself, how am I feeling today? What do I need? Or what am I grateful for today? Maybe that's setting an alarm on your phone telling you that it's time to shut down your electronics and spend a few minutes before bed doing something nurturing for yourself. Maybe it's getting up 10 minutes early to enjoy some of your coffee or tea in peace before getting the kids up or starting to get ready for work. And I got to tell you, that one doesn't work for me because I struggle with early mornings. But another one is to add micro moments of care into your day. And what do I mean by micro moments? A 3 to 5 minute movement break every hour or so. Stretch your legs, rest your eyes, just disconnect from what you're doing for a couple of minutes. 5 to 10 minutes of breathing, stretching, journaling, or just actually paying attention to and enjoying your cup of tea with actual intention. Stop, even for just a minute, to cuddle your pet, to look out the window at the sky, or to smell a flower. Name your coping tools. Which ones are helping you? Which ones might be hurting more than helping? If you don't think you have any coping strategies yet, go listen to episode 5 where I share some of the strategies that have been helpful for me. And then I suggest you pick one self-care action this week that supports future you. Maybe that's going to bed half an hour earlier this week. Maybe it's saying no to something that drains you. Maybe it's making a plan to start meal prepping and actually doing it. You are not being selfish by implementing self-care into your life. You are worthy, and you are allowed to care for yourself without guilt. If you have a notebook handy, here's a gentle prompt to help you forward with self-care. Answer yourself, what is one thing I do that helps me get through the day? And what is one small actionable thing I could do that I feel would make life better for my future self? Now go do the thing. This week we explored the difference between coping and self-care. We talked a bit about living in survival mode and how we are worthy and deserving of more than that. As I wrap up, I want you to remember, if it's only relaxing, but it's not restoring, it might be a treat, but it's not real self-care. Building self-care into your life takes a little effort, but it's a critical piece of building resilience. But most important, remember this: you are not broken for needing rest. You are not selfish for setting boundaries. You are absolutely worthy of giving yourself the same care that you give to others. Thank you so much for being with me today. Feeling a little inspired? Share this episode with someone who needs it today, and don't forget to leave a review so others can find these insights too. You can find more on resilience at transformativejourneys.ca and grab yourself my resiliency toolkit for free, or find me on Instagram at transformativejourneys.johanna. I would love to hear your stories. Also, hit that subscribe button on your favorite platform and tap the bell icon so you'll be notified when new episodes drop. Next week, I'm going to explore mindfulness as a strategy for coping and healing. Have you ever tried mindfulness? If not, it might not be what you think. Until then, this is Johanna reminding you that it doesn't matter if you fall. What matters is how well you bounce. This is Transformative Journeys. See you next time. Hey, just a disclaimer, this podcast is for entertainment and informational purposes only and should not replace the advice of a medical or mental health expert. I am not a licensed counselor or therapist. In fact, I don't have a degree in anything, and there are no fancy letters after my name. I'm a full-time student at the School of Hard Knocks, University of Life, where I figure I'll graduate when I take my last breath. In other words, I'm just Johanna, a fellow human being on my journey through this thing called life, and your guide on this transformative journey.